The Tusculum Pioneers put up 18 points in a small matter of time, and the Pioneers knocked off the Limestone Saints. Final score, 24-21. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Staten with the Pioneer Football Show, joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. The Pioneers knock off Limestone, go to 1-0 in South Atlantic Conference play. Got great play from defense as we score again, and the offense, after a slow start, found a way to win the contest in the end. Coach, a Limestone team coming in that in the spring, I think you have to throw those out, all the numbers that you put up. You're such a totally different team, still trying to find a little bit of an identity somewhat. And then you had the Ivan Corbin issue where he played at Limestone for 2 seasons, and you wondered how he would react. First couple of series seemed to be really amped up, and it seems as if the offense got off to a slow start, but we're victorious.
Yeah, I think we did a little bit. I mean, threw one ball a little bit behind the tight end, got a tip ball, got a pick early on in the game. We were able to shut that out on 4 and out. Great play by Kamari, going over the top on a little rub route. So I was really proud of those guys. And then they come back out and we put the ball on the ground and fumble. And they got another 25-yard drive. This time they get in. We busted a coverage on a wheel route. You can't do that. We're still working on those little things. I think defensively we played really, really hard. But we're still for me, we're messing up too much. So I got to do a better job of coaching that. I think offensively, our offensive line played really, really well, but we just turned the ball over too much. If you look at it, we had 4 or 5 turnovers, and we've got to take care of the football better. We got to make sure we take care of the football, and we got to find different ways to get our our guys that can make big plays the ball in different ways. I think we got to get the ball to Tyler Giro more, Derek Wright more, Parham more. I think our running backs, whether it be out of the backfield or run the football, we just got to find different ways to get those guys going. But at the end of the day, it wasn't pretty. We didn't play great. I thought we had a lot more energy in the Chowan game personally. Just juice and things like that. But we found a way to win, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Because after about a week or so, was it a dub or was it not a dub? Nobody remembers anything else, so that's how we're going to look at it.
A Pioneer team and Limestone suffered 6 turnovers combined in the contest. Yeah, so from that aspect it was, but you converted those turnovers into some points, and again, you've got 5 scores on your defense this year.
Yeah, we've been working really hard on our strips and things like that, but sometimes that's a little bit lucky, being preparation meeting opportunity, and then making the most out of your opportunity. But big play by Jihad Russ and Kane DeShaughters, not giving up on a blitz, the little wrap blitz that we had, and Kane kept fighting, kept scrapping, chased the guy down, hit him from behind, ball pops up, Jihad gets it, takes it to the house. Had a couple big plays in the red zone. Jermaine Witherspoon had a pick on 4th down in the red zone, or the high red zone early in the game that really helped. And like I said, Kamari had one on 4th down. It was really good. The biggest thing is we gave up an easy touchdown on a corner blitz, and it was the safety makes basically a you or me call, and both of them decided it was me. And when both of them decided it's me, no one's covering that guy running wide open down the sidelines. And those are the things we've got. We had 2 of those. They probably should have scored 7 points if we play to our capabilities. We've got to do a better job of that. We're going to keep working on it. Our kids' attitudes are outstanding. They want to be good. They understand what the issues are. And we got to just keep grinding at it. And we got a big one this week to grind on.
We'll talk about that coming up. But right now, let's take a look back as we show you some of the highlights from Tusculum and Limestone. Opening up South Atlantic Conference play. It's the 7th meeting all time between these 2 schools. And the Pioneers were 5-1 all time against Limestone coming in. Again, just part of this issue right at the very beginning of the game. 2 turnovers. Tusculum wins the toss, gets the ball to receive, and this is that opening series, and that's a catch, and Lovett just dislodges the ball.
Yeah, they ran a little rub route, and a great job by Kamari being physical coming out. Then we run a little RPO over here to sweeper. They get a face mask, so a 10-yard play becomes a 25-yard play. End up bogging down. Again, I think we held Patton and those guys to about 90 yards rushing. We weren't perfect in it, especially up front, but I thought we did some good things. Went empty on these guys some. We thought we could get a certain look out of it, and we did most of the time. Really good protection. It's Derek Wright on a crossing route right here on his 3rd read, so that was a nice job. Again, really good protection. Able to find a Giro over in the flat on a little quick out. I thought we got a terrible spot there. He was over the line when he caught it, and they knocked us back, and they're like, oh, he went back by himself. I'm like, I don't think so. But we're on a tackle trap here. Nice blocking right there. I think Andrew Theobald on the pull. Good job blocking down by the front side. Looked like Chapman on the getting back on the backside backer there, did a really nice job. We're 3rd down and 7 here, about 30-yard line. Get a really nice throw and catch out in the flat for about a 15-yard gain over to Parham, sets up a field goal. We got a little kicking clinic the other day by one of our former kickers here at Tusculum, and I think our kickers are kicking the ball much better because of it. Come back out here. This is we're covering really well. We just got to get contained. We got to work through contain. I thought we might have gotten held a little bit right there, but 4th down again here. We felt like when they max protect, they're going to run double high crossers, which is exactly what that is double high crossers. We did a good job of understanding how to add in right there, so we end up getting a 4th down pick. Get a good run out of Courtney Jackson. We just got to get him holding on to the football. He's swinging that thing around. He got and he ends up getting a good game, but he fumbles a couple. Got Kamari comes on a blitz right there. Got another little quick blitz right here with Jamari Hill, who I thought played pretty well for when he got in there. Really nice play by Jihad Russ on a 3rd down blitz. He became the contain element. Jump into a bear right here. Get a really good job there by Quaheem Glasgow and Ryan McIntyre. Then we take a shot. They take a shot here right before the half, and I think who is that? Tycorin Brown ends up getting the pick. Did a really nice job playing that stuff, and then they get a safety, get a bad snap, kind of all over the place. We'll take the what we can get. We were on that guy's snap hand a lot, and we were picking him some. I think because of that he struggled a little bit with the snap. So then on the ensuing kickoff, we talked about really trying to set up our offense here well. We do a great job of blocking. Tyler Burke, our freshman little receiver, hits it here, but it's really well blocked. Reggie leads through, gets an extra block right there, and we end up getting the ball all the way down to the their 40-yard line, the plus 40, 39-yard line. And then from there, we take a nice throw and catch right here, Justice on a skinny post for a touchdown, and all of a sudden, bang, we get it. We go for 2, run a little quarterback counter, really well blocked there by Chapman, and then the Pepin on the west side of that line blocking down. Thought they did a really good job. Here's the fumble. We got a little blitz on. Kane misses him the first time, doesn't give up on it, strips him from behind, ball pops up in the air. Jihad said this should be a pick, but I tell him, I don't know, Jihad, whatever. But, we do a really good job of returning it, get the ball in the end zone. So now all of a sudden we've turned this thing around a little bit, go for 2 again because that's what we needed to do. Get a good push there by Ben Schellenbach, trying to help his guy in the end zone, and we're now all of a sudden we're kind of up 21-7 and feeling pretty good. And then we kind of go in that lull again. We got to learn to play the whole game here. But really nice play by John Smith. Did a really good job disguising this, showing too high, inverted late. They come back down, get a long play on us, and they end up scoring on that drive to make it 21-14. Come back, run the counter. Again, really well blocked. Nice play right there by Gomillion. I think that's where he dinged his shoulder a little bit, but he knocked that guy. I think that poor kid was about knocked out. Hopefully he'll be back for this week's game. Run another little counter play, 1-back power. Again, running really hard, but again, we put the ball on the ground. And Courtney's just got to do a better job of that, which I believe he will. They get a bad snap. Nelson Luis been playing hard like this all year. Makes a good play right here. Then this is, I think, where we get the corner blitz that screws up, and we let a guy go wide open. Now all of a sudden it's 21-21. Run a quarterback counter, really a heck of a run here by Evan Corbin for about 7 yards. We didn't get a whole lot of anybody blocked right there, but he made it happen on his own, which was great. Come back with a little play action pass again over here to Justice Parham with a nice catch up to the 50-yard line. And then we break one. This is where Reggie gets in the game and makes some really nice runs by Reggie Cullum right here, and I think he's going to be a heck of a player for us. We throw a little bubble screen on a 3rd and 1 right here to a Giro. It gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Had a chance to score here, but they called Derek Wright out the back of the end zone, said he went out by himself, so they pushed us back, and we couldn't. We ended up getting it back down to the 5 and then having to kick a field goal with Eli. But this ended up being the game winner because we were able to come back out, play pretty good defense after this, and kind of shut them down. Really good job by Kane to Shotters right there. I thought Kane played really well in the game. Nice job by Big J Mike right there. Jermichael Wilson did a heck of a job right there. They come back. We got this covered up. He's got nowhere to go. He tries to scramble. Again, Kane DeShotters with another sack. I think he had 2.5 for the game. We had, or maybe 2 for the game. And out of the 3 we had, again, a great run. You see Reggie's kind of a slasher right there. If he gets his legs up, he might go to the house right there. But he's just kind of leans forward and he kind of slashes around, and he's going to be a heck of a player for us. We just got to keep him getting better.
Reggie led the team, 8 carries, 58 yards, 7.3 yards per rush with that long there at 14 that you just saw. Jackson, 40 yards, Gamillion, 36 yards, Corbin with 23. So he had great balance in the offense on this day as Corbin throws for 140 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. I guess you have to count it a pick, and probably for both quarterbacks, the one at the end of the first half for Noller and the one to start the game for Corbin was, it was hot. It was ball that was deflected into the air. It's almost as if you credit the defense for taking the ball away, but it's always tough to give that.
It was certainly behind. It was behind Will Schellenbach. He tipped it, trying to reach back for it, so it wasn't a great throw. So I think he earned that one.
Okay.
He earned that one.
Well, I'll let him be the decisive.
All right, thank you. I
judge.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Defensively, you got a kid, Jermaine Witherspoon, that sets a career best, 10 tackles. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up with the pick, on 4th down. So you had some guys flying around with DeShotters. We didn't mention Witherspoon, I think, enough in the game because he's a guy that really understands what you want. Yes.
Correct. I expect it from Spoon. Hopefully we'll get Raynell back. Really happy with Kamar. Kamari Levitt, really, for a true freshman, played, I thought, really well at nickel, too. Now, he didn't have the experience that Raynell has. And I think we'll get Raynell back this week which will really hopefully solidify us in what we're trying to do in the back end defensively, because they run the show back there pretty good along with John Smith. We just can't have 2 older guys bust. We had that one bust there, but I think we're going to get better each week. We just got to get these young defensive linemen that are learning what's going on, how they need to play.
Special teams wise, you had Andrew Cantrell with his best day of the year, 44-yard average along the 55, and you needed that 55-yarder from him. He really flipped the field. That was
that was a huge play, kicking it out of his end zone basically, and kicked a 55-yarder. I think they had about a 12-yard return, so we ended up netting 43 yards. It's a heck of a job by him. Gave us a chance on defense. You had a bad kick right there. You don't know what's going to happen. So Andrew's been kicking the ball really, really well. I think we've been working hard on our special teams. I think Clayton Isbell and Peyton Dixon are doing a heck of a job with that. I'm trying to pitch in where I can on that, trying to help them with personnel and things like that. But they're doing a heck of a job, and we just got to keep getting better on that team also.
Execution on the field goal team, ultimately winning the football game. Eli Shepard knocking home 2 in the contest as well. You go to 1-0 in the South Atlantic Conference with 3 other teams. We're going to talk about that on the other side of this. It's Tusculum and Newberry. We're going to talk about that when we return. Pioneer Football Show with Pioneer coach Jerry Odom.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Tusculum Pioneers and the Newberry Wolves this coming Saturday from Pioneer Field. Kickoff will be 1:30. We'll talk about that. Wingate, Mars Hill, Newberry, and Tusculum all 1-0 in league play. Newberry knocked off the Lenoir Bears this past Saturday. Wingate with the win against Carson Newman. Mars Hill knocked off UVA Wise, and the Pioneers defeat Limestone. Catawba played Barton, which will be a Conference Alliance game. Doesn't count for the records right now. Catawba is off to a 3-0 start in the league. So, Coach, just some of the awards this week. We spoke about Jermaine Witherspoon, but Jermaine was named our AstroTurf South Atlantic Conference Defensive Player of the Week. There's a young man that 10 tackles, interception, forced fumble, probably served some meals at halftime, and, did some things. And it's great to have him back because he's a guy that I think on the back end of your defense, you need to be able to see a lot of the things for some of these young guys we're talking about.
Yeah, he got hurt against St. Augustine, and we didn't know how long he'd be out. And it scared me because not that Trey Treywick's not a good football player, he is, but Jermaine is one of these guys that just gets it. And I can give him 2 or 3 different, like we can play quarters 4 different ways with Jermaine back there, and same thing with Raynell Killian. Having those 2 guys back there really solidifies us, along with John Smith. Those 3 guys kind of run our show, and when we get those guys playing at a high level, it makes everybody else better. And I think losing those guys, especially in the Chowan game, really hurt us because we were all over the place in some base coverages that we never, very rarely do. Very rarely do. So having Jermaine back, playing at a high level, I thought he played really, really well. He tackled well. He's smart. He puts himself in good positions. He takes away routes. He understands, he watches a ton of tape to understand what the other team's trying to get accomplished. I think him and Raynell do a heck of a job with that. They understand what each other's supposed to be doing, how they fit within the system. I think that's a big part. People don't understand. Football is a physical game, right? But it's a football IQ. And you hear me talking about that all the time. It's about how much you can know, how much you understand, where you fit within the system, and how you play is a cerebral thing. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, if I'm taking a math test and I get a problem wrong, I don't get hit in the mouth for it. Yeah. I said, in football, you do. If you get the problem wrong, you're getting hit in the mouth for it, or you're giving up a touchdown. And that's why I tell the DBs, I said, you got to be perfect all the time, because when you're not, it's a touchdown. And you've seen that a couple times the last couple weeks. We got to improve on that. D-line, I give them a hard time too. I'm like, yeah, you guys screw up all the time, but nobody sees it because somebody might make up for it or play or anything else. So they have a tougher job. And having guys back there that you can trust, that understand what you're trying to get accomplished, that's a big thing. And we're going to need that this week, because you're going to see all kind of formations and motions, and you're going to see empties and trips and doubles and all kind of things from the offensive coordinator Newberry. I think they do a fine job. They've got good receivers. I think the receivers have been there as long as I've been coaching here. I mean, they're going on their 6th, 7th year. Yeah. That's how you feel. Bobby Irby and those guys feel like they've been playing forever. They got a heck of a running back in number 24, Mario. Yeah. I mean, he is a baller. I mean, he runs hard. He knocked the dude's helmet off last week from LR. That kind of got our guys' attention, how hard he runs. I think they're solid up front. They do a great job with misdirection, where you're in, what I call a 2-play play, where one's for the quarterback, the other one's for the running back, and you got half your receivers and your edge blockers are blocking for one group, and then your O-line's blocking for another. So you got to be very, very very disciplined in what you're doing. Then you got to understand what they're trying to do to you in the play action pass game, with the motions and everything else. All the what I call eye candy, it's all over the place. And right now we're diabetic. We're eating so much eye candy. We got to do a better job. We got to get on some insulin and do a little bit better job of not taking up that eye candy. But it's going to be an exciting game. I think defensively, Todd Knight teams always play great defense. They're great up front. There's some blue running around the secondary. Somebody named Blue running around the secondary, usually blowing people up. There's always a blue at Newberry. It's a rule. Yeah. I've decided it's a rule. I don't know if that's a rule, folks, but I've decided it's a rule. And their linebackers are 18 is especially good. And so, I mean, it's going to be a heck of a football game, because I think I think they're a great football team. I really do. They don't have a whole lot of weaknesses. And we've got to bring our A game, but it'll be a great, afternoon of football here on Pioneer Field, and I think there'll be 2 football teams getting after each other on Saturday. I honestly believe that.
Here comes Dre Harris, went 16 for 20 last week, had a big day. Mario Anderson rushed for 124 yards on a big day. Anthony Blue may have only had 2 tackles, but that joker makes an impact in their secondary.
Constantly.
Todd Knight and his Newberry Wolves will take on the Tusculum Pioneers. They knocked off Tusculum back in the spring, gave Tusculum their only loss in the spring in a very tight contest played in Newberry, South Carolina. We get them this time at Pioneer Field. Find out how that goes this Saturday. Join us on the Pioneer Sports Network. Our coverage will begin at 12:30 on the radio side of things. You can view it on the TV side of things when we kick off at 1:30 through TusculumPioneers.com. He's Coach Jerry Odom. Doug Page, thanks as always We're back next week with more Pioneer football as we will recap Newberry and look ahead for a 2-game road swing which begins in Hickory. But that's next week. And until then, go Pioneers.